All right. Hi, everyone. We are going to start in Shavasana today. So just coming on your back. And I invite you to use some props to come into Shavasana today. If you have your blocks, just slide your blocks underneath the bottom or the top of your thighs like this, and see how that feels, and spread your legs the width of the mat. So instead of having them directly straight, and see how that feels in supporting your lower back. If it doesn't give you more comfort, some people love this. I personally love this. Or you can adjust it a little bit higher or lower. And another option for this, if this one isn't working for you, is to put the blocks under your calves. So it's just a nice little small adjustment that you can do if you find lying flat on your back can be challenging. Or maybe just for a little bit more comfort. So we were just chatting about, when we have those days that everything seems to go wrong, and, how we can pause to get centered. Because quite often, if something happens, we start the morning out and something happens, like we spill something or something upsets us or whatever, and then it turns into this it builds, because we're upset, then we're more clumsy, and then something else goes wrong, and then that makes us even more upset. And so it's a great reminder that we can take a moment to just pause and check in. And maybe this moment right now is that moment for you. Maybe you've had a really busy, hectic day, and you just need to take a breath. So I'm really glad that you're here with us today, because it not only is this a powerful practice on our own, but it tends to be magnified when we're in the energy of other people. There's something really supportive and nurturing about doing this in community. And I know for me, I'm just so grateful for our little yoga community, to be able to connect and learn and grow and share, no matter what's going on in our life, whether we're vacationing in far off lands and exploring the world, or whether we're having a really challenging time personally or with our family, we can still connect with that energy. And sometimes it's just the day-to-day things that trip us up. It doesn't even have to be a major thing. With the changing of the seasons, sometimes it can throw us a little off kilter, whether it's our mood or just changing our wardrobe and finding all those things in the back of our closets when we need them on that cold, rainy day. Sometimes can throw us off if we're late in the morning. So just taking a moment to give yourself some grace. Just remembering that we're only human. We are living on this physical plane as much as we are on a spiritual journey. sometimes this human condition can trip us up, and that's okay. Maybe think of something as you are taking a pause and collecting yourself. Take a moment to think of something today that maybe you're beating yourself up about, or maybe you judged yourself or criticized yourself for. Maybe you said something or did something. And just take a moment to maybe recall that inner critic. Maybe there's a name that you unconsciously call yourself when you make a mistake. Maybe it's a name that from the past that somebody called you growing up, and you've adopted that and used that against yourself without even realizing it. And just taking a moment to acknowledge how you feel around this situation, around even maybe the judgment around it that you have with yourself. And now I invite you to shift your perspective to your best friend, your dearest, closest loved one. And imagine your loved one was there. What would that person say about your actions and your judgment? What would somebody that really loves and adores you, how would they speak to that? We tend to have a lot more grace, patience, and forgiveness with other people that we don't have with ourselves. So sometimes I like to think of coming from the perspective of somebody that really adores and cherishes me, and to bring in that perspective to my mindset. So as we begin to love and honor ourselves more and more every day, we may choose to watch the words that we say to ourselves. We may want to give ourselves a break. And taking a nice deep breath in. And just affirming that I am lovable, breathing that in. I am worthy. And breathing that in. And I honor myself wherever I'm at. Just taking some time to love and accept myself. As we prepare to go into our practice today, and as we depart here and go into the rest of our day, I invite you to be gentle with yourself. I invite you and myself to treat ourselves as if we're somebody that we absolutely adore and cherish. Because we deserve that. We all deserve that. So as you lie in Shavasana, I invite you to just rotate your hands so that your palm is in the opposite direction as it is now. So if your hands are down, just roll your hands so your palms are up. And vice versa. And then coming in the other way, palms up and down. And if you're moving from the wrist, I invite you to move from the arm. So you're actually moving the whole arm from the shoulder joint. And just feel the opening through the shoulder, through the chest, as you externally rotate and then internally rotate. Just feeling that gentle opening through the shoulders. And then the next time your palms come up, I invite you to raise your arms above your head. Allowing the arms to slide along the floor if that's accessible. And then again, rotating the arms. So as the arms are up over the head, you're just going to turn the palms forward and back. You're rotating into the shoulder, but now you're in a different position. It may feel a little bit tighter, a little bit more intense possibly, or maybe not. And then rolling the wrists. And in the opposite direction. Releasing your right hand over. So just taking your hand to the back of your head, or the top of your head, and taking the left hand onto the top of your elbow. Like this. Nice deep breath. And switching to the other side. arms down. Bending the knees and taking the feet the width of the mat. We're going to windshield wiper the knees and have the head go in the opposite direction. So starting with the feet, the width of the mat, and then we'll transition into another foot position. So knees go right, head goes left. Flowing the movement with the breath. Knees coming back to center, and then bring the feet close together, and we'll do the same thing. So knees to the right, head to the left. Knees to the left, head to the right. And just taking this time to tune in. Tune into your body and see the pace that you want to go at. You may want to come to the side and hold for a breath, or keep a continuous movement. And then coming back to center, taking the right ankle just above the left knee, at the bottom of the left thigh. Pressing your knee away from you, opening up the posture. And then gently taking the knee to the left. And then over to the right. Back and forth. And as you come back to center, we're going to do the reclined pigeon. So the left knee comes up towards the chest and wrap the right arm between the legs. Left arm comes around. So you're coming to the front of the left shin. So right hand comes between the legs. There you go. We're just pulling the knee in towards the chest. Another option with this is you can extend the left leg and take the hands around behind the knee. And then you're just adding a hamstring stretch to the glute stretch. Slowly releasing down, and we'll switch to the other side. So pressing the left knee away from you, we're going to toggle from side to side initially. Coming back to center, and the left hand comes between the legs. Right hand comes around in front of the shin, or you can extend that right leg and take the hands over top behind the knee, behind the right knee. And slowly releasing down. Bringing the knees into the chest. Pumping the knees 5 times. And then extending the left leg straight and the right knee comes in. So squeezing as you exhale the knee into the chest. And as you inhale, push your shin into your hands that are clasped. You're pushing up. And then exhale, pulling in. Inhale. Push into the hands are pulling into the knee. You're creating an opposing action. Like you're trying to stop your leg from coming out. And then exhale, pull the knee into the chest. Inhale, push the knee into the hands pulling into the knee. And exhale. And we'll switch sides. Inhale, pushing out. Exhale, pulling in. Inhale. Push out. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale. And then squeezing both knees in together. And we'll rock from head to toe 3 times until you come up into a seated posture. So from here, sliding the right foot underneath the left hip or the left buttock, and then the left leg comes on top. And just do the best you can to line up and layer the knees on top of each other. You can always take a block underneath the right cheek, and that'll help to prop the pose, and it really makes it a little more accessible. And reaching for our strap. Extending the arm up. Left arm, the right arm bends, left arm comes down. So if you have a loop, you can fish it through and tie it, and if not, just grab on. And then see if you can just bring your head up. And you have a nice long spine, chin is level to the floor. And then slowly releasing the arms, and we'll come to the other side. And you may find that one side is a little bit more open than the other. That's pretty common. So this time it's the left arm that is bending. So whichever leg is on top, it's the opposite arm that is bending in the cow face pose. So another way you can do this too is to just take your right hand and hold the elbow up there. And slowly releasing. Slide the right leg straight and just adjust the left foot to the inner thigh, the inner right thigh. So I like to just pull my sitting bones out a little bit so I can pull my cheeks out so I can ground down through my sitting bones. And then sitting up nice and tall. And as you exhale, easing forward, just leading with your heart towards your toes. No matter how far you can go, just go to that point of resistance and breathe. Slowly coming up, and we're going to release the left hand behind the back and roll onto the left knee, raising the right arm up and over into wild thing. I'm just doing a nice big circle with the arm coming backwards. So reaching back behind, down towards the hip, into the front, back up again. And when you've done 3, coming down, opening up to those shoulders. And we'll switch to the other side. Actually, before we do, just bend the left knee up. We're going to come to a twist. Right arm wraps around. Inhale up. And exhale and twist to the left. Let your eyes look towards the left. I'll be coming back to center, stretching both legs out, taking a moment in staff pose. Both legs stretched, hands are beside the hips, grounding into the earth, rolling the shoulders back, sitting up nice and tall. And breathing to the count of 5, inhaling. And out through the mouth, exhale. As you breathe in, feel yourself lengthening up through the spine. And exhale. Last one. In for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out through the mouth. Sliding your right foot into the inside of the left thigh. Lifting and feeling that connection to the sitting bones. And then easing forward. Trying to hinge from the hips, not the waist. Lengthen through the spine. Breathing deep into the belly. Up, exhaling your right hand behind you. Inhale, rolling onto the right knee and reaching the left arm up. Really feel that length and opening all the way down from the left heel, through the hip, through the shoulder, all the way to the fingers. And then reaching your arm back into a full circle, coming up and around, working right into that shoulder joint. And on your last one, releasing down, drawing the knee up. So we're still supporting ourselves with our right hand behind, wrapping the left arm around the right knee. Sitting up nice and tall, making sure your pelvis is balanced. So the left arm is wrapped around the right knee. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, nice gentle twist. Turn your head. Reach your eyes towards the right. Feel that breath compressing the belly onto the leg. Stretch them through the neck. And then coming back to center. Bringing the soles of the feet together into butterfly. And I like to just shift, lift and shift. So you're sitting more in the front of the sitting bones. And then you'll find that'll take the strain off the back. Sometimes when we're in the back of the sitting bones, we end up like, you can always tuck a little pillow in behind your tailbone too, is very helpful. So coming into poses like this, especially after twists and a lot of rotation, it really helps to rebalance the pelvis and stabilize the sacrum. So these are always good postures to do after. So coming into a nice butterfly, inhaling, knees up. I don't think we've done this in a long time, eh? Yeah, exhaling, knees down. And you can continue doing this, or if you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, feel free to walk the hands forward. Either one is perfect. And then draw the chin to the chest. Sometimes when we're in this forward bend, we can feel a pulling through the whole spine. And this is really good for the lining around the spinal cord, the dura, because that can get tight. It's not just our muscles that get tight, it's our cranial sacral system. So we have this beautiful connection from the base of the skull down to the sacrum that we're working with right now with some nice deep breaths. And then gently turn the head. It may even be just a centimeter or what feels good. With the chin still to the chest, we're going to bring the head slightly to the right and breathe. And then coming back to center and slightly to the left. Come back to center. Walking the hands up. Sliding one foot in towards the root chakra and then the other one in front. Inhaling the arms up. And exhale. Left hand reaches towards the earth. The right hand comes over to the left. And just feel that nice opening between the ribs. And then gently float the right lung up towards the sky. It's like you're just opening up the pose. If you can inflate your lungs like a balloon. And then slowly, we're going to bring the arm down and up and over. And we're going to come in the opposite direction. Down, scooping up. And we're just going to do that 2 more times. Coming back to center. And inhale the left arm up and over, right arm on the earth, or the opposite of what you just did. So you can gauge, straighten your arm or hand on a block, or you can bend the elbow. Just gauge how deep you want the stretch. And gently let the left lung float up towards the sky. We're going to bring the right arm forward and down and back and up. And come in the opposite direction 3 times. Just encouraging that open posture, lengthening through the spine. And coming back to center. So from here, let's just come into a low lunge. So make your way so that the left foot comes forward. And the right leg comes back. Turn your toe under your back, your right toes. Turn your toe under so that you can lengthen the back leg nice and long. So instead of being the front leg is into a 90-degree angle, and the back leg, we're trying to get that little stretch in the psoas. Breathe right into your psoas, your flexors. And then slowly bending the back knee and straightening the front. Reach for your blocks. And prop your hands on your blocks as you come in the opposite direction and hamstring stretch the left leg. See if you can position your leg so that it's straight forward and not rotated out. So you will be creating a little bit of effort to pull it if your foot tends to come out to the left. And then gently bring the left knee and bend it in, and we're going to right angle the right knee. Turn the toes under of the left foot, allowing you to extend that leg nice and long. Or psoas connects on the inner thigh and then runs up through the bottom of the torso, through our abdominal muscles, and attaches at the bottom of our lumbar spine, bottom of the low back vertebrae, and right to the T12, the thoracic bottom of our rib spine there. And the tight psoas can directly affect pulling on your lower back. And it's directly affected by stress. It shortens and contracts when we're stressed out. So one of the best things we can do, so gently easing back, one of the best things we can do is breathe into the psoas, not overstretch or sudden stretch, because it'll have the opposite effect. It's like a turtle. It'll go into fight or flight. If it's too much, too fast, too intense, then it'll just go into that sympathetic fight or flight reaction. Just like we were talking about at the beginning, being gentle with ourselves, we need to be gentle with our psoas. So from here, coming onto our knees, or you can do this from a seated position or in a chair. So if you're doing it on your knees, I'm just gonna add the stretch through the feet. So you can start by going easy with your hands on the knees, with your hands on the blocks and your knees bent. And then you can work to whatever your comfort level is by way of coming up, but grab your strap first because we're going to do some shoulder stretches with our strap. We're taking the strap so you can come up here and be stretching through your feet as we do this, or you can come back down and that's more intense. So if you're dealing with plantar fasciitis, this is very good for it, but it can be excruciating if you're actually flared up in that condition. So just be gentle. And then we're going to take our strap. You might want to adjust it a little bit wider. So the wider is going to give a little bit more room for the shoulders. And then inhale up, just opening up. And then gently into one side. So notice what's happening with your pelvis as we go into this position. If you're in this upright position, notice if you're dumping into the low back, if you're hyperextending. So if you are, we want to just do that little pelvic tilt, engage the lower abs. As we're focusing on the shoulders, sometimes we can go into that hyper tilt. And then bending one arm, bending the other arm. And then slowly start to release back and just find that point where it's a nice stretch. And then coming to your longest part of the strap, or releasing the strap. And for some people, you want to just come the full length and you can come back, or just bend your elbow. So if it's too intense to do it with straight arm, you'll know. You'll just get to that point. It's like, this is not happening. It's overstretching. So you can just bend the elbow, or you can just hang out on top. You don't have to come all the way over. For some people, this feels amazing. And for other people, it's just too much. Especially if you're dealing with shoulder issues, just being really mindful. For some people, this has helped rectify their shoulder issues. But just feeling into your own. There you go. One last one. And releasing. We're going to come down onto our tummy, and this is another deep shoulder stretch. So if you are inflamed and feel like this is too much, then don't come into this position. I'll show you it first. It can be a little intense. So you're going to take your arms into a 90-degree. Hopefully you guys at home can see me okay. So you're going to come into a 90-degree angle and then roll over onto your right side. So I use a block. I'm actually going to do it this way so you can see better. I like to use a block for my head or a pillow. And it's going to be a little bit tricky because I got the mic back. There, then I'm going to roll right onto. Okay, so the arm comes out. You can do 90-degree or you can do straight out. And just try to keep the arm as straight as possible. And then as you roll, you can just bend that left knee to prop you up and put a block under your head. So your left arm can be there to support you too. So some people like to just go part way and keep their leg down. Some people want a nice deep stretch, and then they just rotate right through the hips and prop the left knee up. Taking some nice deep breaths. And Coming back to center. Extending the left arm out to the left. And then rolling to your left side. So you're just pushing with your right hand. You can even prop yourself up by having your right, sorry, did I say pushing with your left hand? I meant right. And then propping yourself up with your right foot and your right arm. Nice deep breaths. Quite often we forget about how much our shoulders contribute to our neck pain. The tension that may build from the day, from stress. And slowly coming back to center. And then pressing back into a child pose. Take it nice and wide, the knees nice and wide apart. And then gently drawing your tailbone down towards the earth. Rounding through the spine and breathing deeply up and down. From the base of the skull down to the tailbone. Just feeling the energy flowing all the way up your spine. And exhaling down your spine, releasing. And then coming forward, we're going to come out of our child pose and just end in a puppy stretch. So this is just going to open up through the shoulders. So you can do this with both arms forward. So just bring the knees hip width apart. And you can extend both arms forward, or for a little bit of a gentler stretch, you can take one arm across. So bend, say, the right elbow and take the hand underneath the left elbow and the left arm extend straight. And then as you come down, just place your forehead on your right arm and just soften your heart towards the earth. The tailbone is high, so the thighs are perpendicular to the ground, and you want to have your tail up high, unlike child pose. And then just switching, if you're doing one arm at a time, switching to the other side. This is one of the best stretches for your thoracic spine. It really gets into that mid-back. And if you're playing with this at home, you can even rotate the extended arm, like we were doing earlier, flipping the palm open and then down. And that will help to work into the shoulder joint too. All right. So just making your way into Shavasana. You may want to put on a sweater or your socks. Our body temperature tends to lower when we go into Shavasana or meditation. And as you come into Shavasana, as you lie on your back, just doing some gentle neck stretches from side to side. And then the next time you come to your right side, bring your nose down towards your shoulder. So you're turning your head to the right and then bringing your nose down towards your right shoulder. And then coming back to center, turning to the left, and then bringing your nose down to your left shoulder. Coming back to center, relaxing the legs nice and wide on the mat to take any pressure off of the lower back. If you want to prop your blocks underneath your thighs, you can feel free to do so. Taking a nice deep inhale to the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale out through the mouth for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5. Out through the mouth for 5. Inhale. And exhale. It's amazing how 3 simple breaths can change our state. Shifting to a place of self-compassion, perceiving ourselves as someone that we adore and cherish. Practicing karuna, or compassion, is such a vital part of yoga. And it always begins with ourself. The more we can be gentle with ourselves, is the more we can reflect that out to others as well. So I invite you to just bring to mind an area of your life that you can bring more compassion. And feel yourself cultivating that sense of self-love and compassion deep within your heart. And feeling that energy expanding through your chest, out through your shoulders and arms, a beautiful way to extend compassion to others is starting from the heart and out through the arms, through the hands, in practical ways, up through the neck and the head, down through the ribs, back, low back and belly, hips, thighs, knees, calves and feet. Feel your entire body radiating with this beautiful, pure love and compassion for yourself and for others. Taking a nice, gentle breath in, slowly bringing your awareness to where the breath is going into the body. Bringing your awareness to the entire body as you begin to slowly awaken. Keeping your eyes and your mind soft. You shift your awareness to this room, beginning to move through the body in whatever way that your body is craving. Gentle turn of the head from side to side. Maybe mimicking a yawn or two to stretch through the jaw. And taking your time, make your way back up into a seated posture. Inhaling the arms all the way up. And exhaling the hands to heart center. We'll end with one Om. Inhaling. Om. Namaste. Good job. Thanks, everyone. Have a lovely week.
You too. Have a nice weekend.